California has a very unique post-sale process for foreclosures, which occurs when the subject property is a single-family dwelling and the winning bidder at the auction is a real estate investor. This process was enacted in 2021 after the state passed a new law called SB1079. Its intention is to give potential homeowners an advantage over real estate investors who historically have been the big winners at foreclosure auctions. I wanted to learn more about this, so I visited the office of Total Lender Solutions in San Diego to interview Randy Newman, who's an expert in the subject and offers non-judicial foreclosure services in 5 states, including California. I'm Rocky Batani, CEO of PrivateLenderLink.com, where investors and brokers can easily find direct private lending companies. If you're in the investment real estate business and want to gain insights into private mortgage lending, subscribe to our channel and get notified every time we release a new video. So Randy, let's talk about this new law related to foreclosures in California, SB 1079. Tell us what it is and how it affects the foreclosure process.
SB 1079 was passed into law and signed into law by the governor last September, so September of 2020, and became effective January 1st of 2021. And what it does is it creates a post-sale process for a certain group of people or entities that have the right to purchase the property after the foreclosure auction has concluded. So prior to January 1 of this year, we would have a sale. The sale was final and done. Whoever was the successful bidder at this auction, at the public auction, whether it be the foreclosing lender or a third-party bidder, they became the owner of the property. We issued a trustee's deed in their name, and that was it. Now SB 1079 came into effect, and its purpose was to create or promote affordable housing. There's, in my mind, a misconception in a lot of the state legislators here in California that big companies, big corporations, multinational corporations are buying up all the real estate inventory at these foreclosure auctions and therefore shutting out individuals from being able to buy property. And this is the reason why housing prices are going through the roof and there's less and less affordable housing in California. So this law came into effect to try to combat it. And what it does is if somebody is going to be an owner occupant of the property, they can become the owner at the sale, and the sale is final, so nobody else gets the right to bid post-sale. But if somebody doesn't bid at the auction to become an owner occupant, then the sale is opened up to a group of people. First is potential owner occupants. They still have the right to buy. The current tenants of the property, if there are tenants of the property, have the right to buy. Or a government entity, such as the California Board of Regents. Certain nonprofits also have the ability to bid on property provided they are based in California and their primary purpose is to promote affordable housing. And if they fall into one of those categories, then either the tenants, the prospective owner occupant, or the not-for-profit can come in and purchase the property. So it's sort of a post-sale auction that happens, but the way the process works, there's no real auction. Basically, any of these parties come in, there's a 15-day period following the sale. So for 15 calendar days after the sale, all they have to submit is to us, the trustee, is a non-binding notice of intent to bid. And this notice just identifies the property, who they are, and they say they intend to submit a bid under what's now Civil Code 2924M or SB 1079, and they're going to bid within 30 days following the conclusion of that 15-day period. So basically for 45 days, the property is now in limbo. The borrower's rights are all terminated, so the foreclosure is complete. The only part that's not complete is who's going to become the titled owner of the property. So if you get any of these notices of intent to bid as the trustee within the 15 days, you've got to wait till the end of the 45 days from the day of sale. And again, it's calendar days. If no bids come in at the end of those 45 days, now remember, the people that submit the notice of intent to bid don't have to submit an actual bid, and the actual bid is a cashier's check for the full amount that they're willing to pay for the property.
Wait, but you said it's a bid, but they're still writing a check, and then if they don't win, if they're not the highest bidder, then they just get the check back?
Well, it's the same thing at the public auction. It's not that much different, because in California at the public auction, whoever wants to bid on the property has to come with certified funds for the amount they're going to bid on the property. Now what'll happen, and we've had a couple of sales on this under 1079, people are walking in on day 45 because they don't, and hand delivering checks or wiring the money into our trust account on the 45th day. So if they're the successful bidder, they'll get the property, and if they're not, they get their money back immediately.
So let's say the property sold at auction, the initial auction, and let's just call it the price ended up being $500,000. So if within that 45-day period you have 10 different people sending in their bids, they're sending it to you, right?
Correct.
So they send it in to the trustee, and then you just take the highest one, and that's the one that gets the property.
Correct.
And but do all those people
unless it's the tenant. If the tenants are bidding, all the tenants have to do is match the bid. So all they'd have to pay is $500,000. They get the property automatically. Nobody else gets it. Anybody else has to bid at least a penny or $1 over what was paid at the auction.
And how do they know what it sold for at the auction?
So under 1079, we're required to maintain a website that now shows the date of the sale, the amount of the price that was paid for at the auction, and our physical address, because these notices of intent to bid have to be in writing and sent to us by certified mail, overnight mail, express mail, priority mail, FedEx, anything like that that's traceable, so they can determine when we received it, because if something comes in on day 16, it doesn't count. We do not have to honor it. Keep in mind, again, another clarification, it only applies to 1 to 4 family residential properties. It doesn't apply to a fiveplex or more, or an apartment building. It doesn't apply to a commercial building or property or vacant land, only to 1 to 4 family properties, because again, promoting affordable housing where people will live.
So what if someone says that they're going to be the owner occupant and they're not? How do you verify that?
So they are required to give us an affidavit that they're the owner occupant, or that they are the not-for-profit whose primary purpose is affordable housing, or that they are the tenants in the property. And under the statute, we are allowed to rely on that affidavit, so there's no imposition on us to go further than the affidavit if the information's provided.
So with this whole SB 1079, it's really not a good situation for the investors who are trying to buy property at foreclosure, because they may put a bid and then they're just kind of in limbo, just waiting to see if anyone else outbids them with the post foreclosure process.
Right. What I have seen, though, is fewer bids at the actual auction. Most of the properties are now reverting again, meaning they're going back to the foreclosing lender. People aren't coming in and bidding on the 1 to 4s because they don't want to tie their money up for up to 45 days and walk away with nothing. They're not getting interest on their monies that they give us. They're not getting anything, really. All they're getting is, hey, we'll talk to you again in 15 days or maybe 45 days, and maybe you'll own the property or maybe you'll get your money back.
Oh, so that brings up another question, is if you don't get any intents to bid in that 15-day period, then it's done, and then you can transfer title.
Correct.
To the winning bidder.
Correct.
At the auction.
So we will issue the trustee's deed on day 16. or day 45, day 46, in the event that we have notices of intent to bid, but no bids come in.
To learn more about Total Lender Solutions, click the link in the description to view their profile on our website. While our primary function is to connect investors and brokers with lenders, we are also a valuable resource to find companies that provide services to lenders, brokers, and investors. We'll produce many more of these videos to learn about the foreclosure process in other states. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on LinkedIn to get notified every time we release a new one. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.